Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about how much of history have we really lost to time. Not only time, but also ignorance and a bunch of other reasons. I just thought it would be an interesting topic. So it's hard to make an estimate because the nature of information available is constantly raising and lowering. Entire societies can collectively forget chunks of history for multitude of reasons. So, when people retell stories, they remember information that correlates best to their identity. That means that they tend to leave out bits of information that they either deem unimportant, uninteresting, or non-correlative. Another aspect of that is that the people in power also determine in which manner history is rewritten, and they write history in the perspective that they want you to see it in. It's also important to keep in mind that only the victors of war get to decide the story. There is no winning in war. The rich get richer and the soldiers get traumatized, but dead men tell no tales. A lot of hope for our records rests on three things. Lost artifacts being recovered. This improves the understanding of the past, obviously. Number two, historians make better analysis of data as they continue because the inferences are based on available materials and that changes over time. And number three, history continues each day. It's hard to fit an event into a trend before the trend has finished. Therefore, time itself gives better understanding. Another part of the issue, however, is that the information stored in people's minds is inaccessible most of the time. So, witnesses and historians can be interviewed while they're alive, but it's likely that they'll pass on while only sharing a small piece of the knowledge that they possess. And the lack of interaction and community within modern society makes this problem even more difficult to solve. Not to mention, a large portion of written records are lost. Currently, 13% of Greek authors whose names are known works are available, not even accounting for the authors who aren't known. Accidents and political advance contribute to the loss of written records as well. In 2018, a fire destroyed 92.5% of the 20 million items in the National Museum of Brazil, including the only recordings of now extinct languages. The Library of Alexandria declined gradually with the purging of intellectuals in 145 BC, which led their head librarian to resign. Julius Caesar then burned a portion of the collection in 48 BC, which it then continued to dwindle due to lack of funding and support around 260s AD. For reference, the Library of Alexandria held roughly, not known precisely but based on height, 40,000 to 400,000 scrolls, which is equivalent to around 100,000 books. Political actors often deliberately destroyed the knowledge of their foes' history and culture. One example is the National and University Library of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I don't know if I said that correctly, sorry. With the Chinese emperor's burning of books and burying of scholars in 212 BC from Lando Taylor and Berja. The Nazis held book burnings to ceremonially burn books for being subversive or representing ideologies opposed to Nazism in the 1930s. Works by prominent Jewish, liberal, and leftist writers ended up in bonfires. It was a sign of intolerance and censorship. Intellectuals and the press criticized this act and deemed it barbaric. Even digital media stands the same weak chances of survival. With software changes, link rot, and lost media, an incredible amount of digital information becomes inaccessible. Media conglomerates also determine when and what is available on each outlet and streaming service. Simple things like childhood shows or games can be impossible to retrieve, along with more important topics on media censorship like the hiding of protests and inappropriate acts from politicians. Not only that, but most historians' analyses will not be read or cited after the death of the publication's initial readers. Everything inevitably fades from the discourse. Still, many older works have relevance because it is not possible to capture the insights of all of history in one person's lifetime. But a lot of these will find no use in modern times. It is averaged that about 97% of history has been lost solely to time. Written accounts only started around 6,000 years ago, and modern humans appeared around 200,000 years ago. 6,000 is 3% of 200,000. Part of why this is sad and a bit scary is because history repeats. and not always repeats, it sometimes rhymes, and without proper documentation, people are more easily susceptible to manipulation. The best thing to do is continue to help fund libraries, build within each community, find independence, and trust that not everything seen or read is the complete truth. Any information can be lost, and the best way to not lose information is to be in the moment, have conversations with people. As long as something exists in your mind, it's still real, it's still tangible, because we can't know what's in people's brains after they die, or even if they're alive if we don't talk to them. But I hope any of that made sense. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what topic you would like to see next. I will include my sources in the caption in case if you want to read them. See you next week. Bye!